Performance Homebrew, coming at you with a beer review. We all have things that we get a hankering for, and sometimes a sweet tooth, like in my case. And one thing I like, I'm a pie guy, but there's one cake I like, and it's carrot cake. And so here I have today the 24 karat golden ale. I wanted to try this. Man, this is a recipe by Julie Goldenberg. Julie is the first female winner of the 7th Stone Homebrew competition sanctioned by the American Homebrew Association. It was brewed at Monkey Paw's Brewing by Cosimo Sorrentino and overseen by Mitch Still, of course, from Stone Brewing. Julie added several things to make this like a carrot cake. She has actual carrots in there, raisins, cinnamon, and other unnamed ingredients. And it was done in a Belgian-style golden ale. So you've got some Belgian yeast in there. And I'd say this is a great way to have your carrot cake and drink it too. Couldn't resist that. It's a Belgian-style ale at 8.5%, 40 IBUs. They use Hallertau and Czech saws for the hops. So let's get this one cracked open and give it a try. Wow, it's pouring really clear, so it's well filtered or something to that effect. And poured fairly aggressively. So I got a lot of bubbles rising up in the glass, as you can see. It's a small head, half a finger I'd say actually. Really clear. It's kind of a golden orange in color. So it's a pretty looking beer. Let's get the nose on it. Wow, it almost doesn't remind me so much of a golden ale. Yeah, sort of, almost makes me think of a triple, to be honest with you. Like a Belgian triple. It's very effervescent from what I can see. And yeah, you really get the Belgian esters coming off of that. You know, you get a little bit of a nuttiness. And I'm getting a little bit of the spiciness. I get a little bit of the, kind of like the clove. Those kind of esters that you get from Belgian beers, definitely. I'm not getting carrot so much just yet. Maybe a hint of that. You know, it makes me think a little bit of a bread rather than a carrot cake. I could get where they're going with a carrot cake. I get that, but it makes me think of like a bread with some nuts in it, a little bit of banana, and maybe some carrot. More that type of thing. But it's a very inviting aroma. But the breadiness is there. The little bit of raisin in it is there. The little bit of cinnamon is there, and it's light. It's really kind of mild, but very pleasant. So we're going to dive in. Cheers. Oh wow. So because of the breadiness, I'm ready for this more full-bodied beer, you know? I'm thinking bread. And it's a light medium. Very refreshing actually, because there's a lot of carbonation. But the flavors are fun. I'm going to have to explore that a little bit. But some of those first impressions, kind of like the nose, I'm getting those Belgian esters, you know, the little bit of banana on there. I'm getting a little bit of that nuttiness. I'm getting a little bit of the spicy esters, you know, like a clove type thing that you would get off of a Belgian beer. Guy, you get like a vanilla and the breadiness and that bit of nuttiness. It almost plays, I've heard someone else say, but almost plays toward like a frosting. I would say as much as what I've heard other people say. I think their imaginations are escaping them, you know, kind of going off there. But I see how they're going there. There's a lot going on. You definitely get those Hallertau and Saaz hops on there, on the backside. It's a very light bitterness, but it's there. And actually 40 IBUs, personally, seems like that would be, it's a Stone thing, a little high in terms of IBUs for this kind of style. It would seem to be, to me, more appropriate if this was more like 25, 30 IBUs when you're trying to create a carrot cake. Stone. Clue in. But otherwise, very pleasing. Yeah, this is a fun beer. It doesn't quite totally play to that carrot cake. If I had to guess, they did the same thing here that they did with Ryan Rashawn's beer when he had that coconut IPA. Because I think the hops are just too high, and it doesn't let out all those other sweet flavors that you really need to play the bigger part. I mean, this needs to be more like a European beer. It needs to be more in that 25 IBUs. And the hop bitterness, which they love, is probably tamping down a lot of those really delicate Belgian esters and flavors that would work so perfectly with this whole concept, the whole beer concept, that whole style. And I love that idea. I'd love to have had the original that she made. I'll bet you anything, just like Ryan's, that was a better beer than what they produced here. I think the carbonation was just a little high. I think the carbonation is taking away from those flavors again, as well as the higher hop character on it. But I think it's a really fun concept. It's a really well-designed beer. Again, the original would probably be just fabulous. I would love to have had just a little more breadiness, which you might perceive if the carbonation was lower. Just for fun, I'm going to do what might be unforgivable by some. I'm going to take a fork and I'm going to kind of whip this up a little bit and release some of the carbonation on that. And you can see, I mean, look at that. Really simply done. Look at the head on there. Look at all the carbonation I pulled out very simply on that. There were just too many bubbles in there, too much gas. So I'm going to let this settle down. I'm going to try it again after this. All right, that's all settled down, so I'm going to kind of dive in again, get the nose and taste again. And you can see just the lightest swirl, and I was building up stuff on that, which is kind of fun. But I can tell you what, already, just on the nose alone, it's warmed up a bit. I'm getting just a much richer aroma coming off this. I mean, absolutely much richer. I just can't even express. Those esters and the carrot now is coming through, and the cinnamon's there, but they balance that really well. It's there, but it's not strong, which is beautiful because it shouldn't be. It's just in there. But I'm getting almost like a hint of a light plum on it now, and some pear on there that I wasn't getting before. Yeah, and the vanilla's coming through. I'm still getting the Belgians about the same, the Belgian yeast esters, but that's so much better. I'm going to take a sip now. All the difference in the world. Let me tell you. I'm even getting a little bit of that Belgian bubblegum, which in this particular case I'm probably not a fan of, but I didn't get that at all before. Yeah. All the Belgian characters are coming out. This flavor is just exploding now. That carbonation was just too high and took away from all that. So I'm just telling you, if you get a bottle, try what I did. Try, as I did, just as it's made with that carbonation level, but take a fork. Knock that carbonation down. This now is a Belgian ale. It's more like, it's someplace between a golden ale and a double. Now, golden ales tend to be strong. This is 8.5%. And I will say, this is very deceiving. You would think that this is more like a double, and you would think that it's about maybe 5% ABV. It's 8.5. This could sneak up on you. It really could. But it's someplace between the two. In fact, to be a golden for me, I feel like it would have to have more going on. It doesn't taste like a golden. It's more of that Belgian. But it's very nice, the double. But as it is, though, it's drinking really nice. I think it was a really good attempt at a carrot cake. I've got to give it a lot of kudos, a lot of credo here. I'm rather enjoying it. And in terms of just like a double to a golden ale, someplace in between, I think it's a super pleasant beer. I think a lot of people have graded this down because it wasn't the carrot cake they were looking for. But in terms of beer as a whole and bringing some of those qualities, I think that Julie Goldenberg did a beautiful job with this beer. In terms of style, I'm digging on it. I'm really digging on it. I'm giving this an 88. I like it a lot. Now, granted, I took some carbonation down. You might want to do that yourself. Overall, I still think this is a great B beer. So overall, we're giving it an 85. And here it is. These are always fun to try. I particularly like these when they're done by brewers winning competitions. It is the 24 karat golden ale, designed originally by Julie Goldenberg. produced through Stone at Monkey Paws. I think it's worth a shot. I really do. Do some of the tricks I did, but I'd say give it a try. This is Kevin Clements Homebrew saying life is too short to drink cheap beer, and I'll see you on the next beer review. Clements Homebrew coming at you with a beer review. Today I got a beer I wanted to try since I heard about it because I'm a big fan of what this represents. This one is the Clements Homebrew coming at you with a beer review. You know, we all have these certain things. Gosh dang it. It's done by Julie Goldenberg. I like that. Goldenberg, good name for a golden ale. And she's the first winner of the 7th homebrew competition put together by Stone. And she's the 7th winner of the homebrew competition done by Stone Brewing that is sanctioned.